Welcome to Orange Brick Road, Australia's trusted crypto education and consulting company based in Perth, Western Australia. Whether you are brand new to crypto or a seasoned investor ready to level up, we are here to help you take hold of your financial future. Our mission is simple. We want to educate 1,000 Australians every single year, ensuring they can safely and simply manage their crypto assets. We make crypto easy to understand, safe to use, and set up in a way that actually works for your life. No hype, no jargon, just plain English guidance from people who genuinely care. So what do we offer? Let us walk you through our full suite of services. Crypto consulting, one-on-one sessions, face-to-face or via Zoom, where we review your situation and give you a personalized action plan, not a sales pitch. Courses. Our beginner courses walk you through buying Bitcoin and Ethereum safely, storing it properly, and understanding the market, including free platinum access on CoinStash when you sign up through us. Trading strategies. We teach high-probability trading frameworks built on risk management and discipline. No signals, no get-rich-quick promises, just proven methods that work. Copy trading and AI solutions. For investors who want passive exposure to crypto without watching charts all day, our AI-powered copy trading partner handles the heavy lifting for you. Crypto portfolio setup. We guide you through building a structured, diversified portfolio from scratch, tailored to your goals and risk profile. Crypto broker. Our partner broker team is available 7 days a week to execute larger trades, provide real-time market updates, and handle gold and precious metals too. Crypto exchange through CoinStash. Over 1,000 digital assets, with a 60% fee discount for new OBR members. OTC broker services. For large volume transactions that require privacy and speed, our OTC service delivers competitive pricing and direct settlement every time. Crypto consulting packages. Bundled, personalized packages covering tax, brokerage, security, and portfolio, one-on-one or in small groups. Delivered however suits you best. Real-world assets. We help you explore tokenized real estate and RWA investing through our partners Blocksquare and OceanPoint, bringing institutional-grade assets to everyday Australians. Crypto loans. Access Australian dollars against your Bitcoin or Ethereum without selling a single coin. Settled into your bank account, often the same day. Security and wallet setup. We walk you through hardware wallet installation, seed phrase management, and protection against hackers and scammers, so you can sleep at night, be invisible to hackers. Through our exclusive partnership with Vanishing Point Security, we help serious crypto investors become invisible to online attackers and protect their highest value accounts. Tax and SMSF. We connect you with MWA crypto tax specialists for fully compliant crypto tax reporting, SMSF strategies, and everything in between. Crypto estate planning. Through Bradshaw Knox, we help you create a secure digital inheritance plan so your crypto is protected and passed on exactly as you intend. Crypto scam recovery. If you have been scammed, we assess your situation, prepare capital loss statements, and advocate for you through the AFCA dispute resolution process. Now here is what our clients have to say. Heath McDonald told us, "The expertise, knowledge, and advice on all things crypto has been nothing short of exceptional. After blindly investing for 3 to 4 years, I now hold a lot more valuable knowledge." Melanie Tonia Evans said, "Brandon was absolutely fantastic and went above and beyond to assist me. A complete beginner with no experience in crypto. His patience was incredible." And Leanne Jones shared, "We have finally taken the leap, with experts this time, so we don't get ripped off again. I suggest giving Brandon a call. He will have the answer. 5 stars every single time. That is the Orange Brick Road standard." Are you ready? Whether you want to start your crypto journey, sharpen your strategy, protect your assets, or sort out your tax, Orange Brick Road has the expertise, the partners, and the community to help you do it right. Book your free 15-minute consultation call with Brandon today. Visit us at orangebrickroad.com.au. We are based in Perth, Western Australia, and we are here for you. Thank you for watching. We look forward to walking the Orange Brick Road with you.
Hi everyone, it's Brandon from Orange Brick Road. What we'll be doing today is we're going to be talking to Kane and Ben about Alpha Node, which is a feature that UpTrade have. And as opposed to me explaining it, I thought I'd get these guys on and take you all through it. This will be out on the newsletter and the podcast and all that. All links will be in the description. So what I'll do is I'm literally just going to hand it straight over to you, Kane, and away you go.
Amazing. Well, thank you for having me, Brandon. It's a pleasure to be on. But yeah, basically, my name is Kane Bizzoni. I am Head of Research and Analytics at UpTrade, and I'm also co-founder of UpTrade Alpha, which is our research platform. So I've been in the market for about 8 years now. I've been working at the leading hedge fund in Australia in crypto and digital assets, as well as venture capital, so seed funding the next round of big innovative projects in crypto. So yeah, had my fair share of crypto experience and investing. Obviously manage my own investment portfolio as well. Being able to bring that to a 7-figure portfolio. But yeah, that is a bit about me. My other co-founder, Ben, is here as well. So take it away, Ben.
Thank you for having us, Brandon, and Orange Brick Road. So I've been at UpTrade for 2 years now. I work side by side with Kane in the research department. I'm also a co-founder of UpTrade Alpha, the research platform you'll see shortly. I made my way to UpTrade through industry ties. I was more of an independent researcher, and through connections in the space, I developed a relationship with Kane, and he introduced me to Jeff at UpTrade, and we went from there, and then it all worked out, and here we are today.
Excellent, mate. Well, take us through the platform, and I guess we might have some questions at the end as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll quickly share my screen for you guys. So just to give you guys a little bit of an understanding of what UpTrade Alpha is, we basically decided to build UpTrade Alpha so you guys have institutional grade research at your fingertips. For so long, we've noticed that it's been more or less reserved for high net worth investors, people who either had companies or were institutions themselves. They didn't actually get access to this type of research. So we decided to make this platform so you guys and the everyday retail investor had an opportunity to get involved in the space and understand what's happening on a high level. So I'm going to quickly run you down through what this is. So currently this is the homepage of UpTrade Alpha. You have the ability to create an account for free, but I am already logged in, so I may as well just jump straight into it. So basically this is the platform we have. So our dashboard shows you guys all the different research videos, reports that we do on a weekly basis. We do multiple per week. We have special guests that come on from different founders. For example, we had Solana's head of product on for an interview. We also had Morpho's founder coming on next month. So we do try to make it very high touch. We always want to be in a community where everything is fast paced, fast growing. But yeah, that is a little bit of a spill around the actual research side. We do have a feed as well. So we have partner feeds where our partners will be posting their research. For example, Apollo Crypto is the leading fund in Australia. So they actually give their research out to our clients as well. We also do our research on a daily basis, telling you guys different things, different assets we're looking at as well. So it is created to be very high touch for our community. It gives you guys the ability to see everything we're doing on a daily basis. I'll push it over to you, Ben, to kind of walk through a few different features as well, maybe the watch list and a few other benefits.
Sounds good. Yep. So the reason for creating our own website was previously we were posting research, we were limited, and we wanted to combine our 7-8 years of experience in the market with all the tools we use to succeed and have it in an all-in-one platform. So let's start with the watch list, Kate. If you want to go there. So in here, we have pretty much the top 300 assets in the market, all with a live data feed. You can watch certain tokens you want to look at. We also have charts inbuilt here. We have all the on-chain data you can look at, such as TVL, active users. We have a what is Solana and also our own personal analysis. We have this full majority of assets that our clients can look at, and you can also make your own watch list and track. All the staff members at UpTrade, so Jeff, Kane, myself, other people in the research team, all have their own personal watch list as well. So you can see what we are tracking and what we're bullish on in live time. Yep, anything else there, Kane, before we want to move on to the next feature?
No, we may as well keep the ball rolling for you guys. So Moving on, we've got our events page. And basically what this is we often have live events for you guys to join on a monthly basis, weekly basis as well. For example, we did have one today, which was our Alpha Space, where myself, Ben, Jeff, George, we jump on to a live session where you guys can join in. We talk about what's happened within the week. And yeah, this is where we have all our events. For example, we also had an event with MTM, Mastering the Markets, where we were talking about altcoin selection. Again, this is a free event for you guys to join. All you need is just a free account. And yeah, this is where it gets all posted. Quickly moving on, we do have our live community channel as well. So this is where people are able to talk to us, talk to other community members, actually get a feel for the everyday conversation in crypto, so you feel like you're part of a community. We have the Alpha Pro chat. This is for pro members. This is where we give our highest conviction information from a thesis level as well as from an actionable level. And then we also do have the direct analyst messaging. So if you are a pro member, you do get the direct access to us as analysts. We have a team of about 4 or 5 analysts now. And whenever you guys have a question, whenever you guys have any query in the market, you guys have us to lean on. People with 8 years experience, people who understand the market better than anyone else. The fact that you have that on a 24/7 basis and we can be able to provide you with that information and clarity is something we think is very, very valuable for anyone getting into the journey or just wanting to get a little bit of clarity or validation on how they're seeing the market. Moving on, Ben.
Yeah, just on that direct analyst messaging feature, we get a lot of feedback here because majority of influencers in the market, it's always just a one-way conversation. So you may be listening to their YouTube video, but you can't actually have a flowing conversation with them. You can leave a comment, but good luck getting a reply from them. So with this, you have a two-way conversation where we can talk Monday through to Sunday, 9 to 5 about anything you want to see in the market. So this feature has been very popular with our members.
Amazing. Well, moving on to the daily news. Again, this is just another feature for you guys as free members. You don't actually need to be a pro member to have this, but it's such a good tool if you were just looking for the biggest headlines of the day. We aggregate all the daily news for you. You don't have to scrape through Twitter. You don't have to scrape through a million different websites to understand what's going on. It all has it here for you. So this basically aggregates the biggest headlines of the news every single day. You have a little bit of market commentary up in the top right. You have your ETF flows. You have the biggest gainers, biggest losers. Everything you really just need in a daily quick reminding update. This has also been a great tool. I actually use this every single day because I'm looking at different things affecting the market and I need to be aware of everything that's going on. So this has actually been one of my favorite tools personally, and I know a lot of our clients have found a lot of value from this as well.
Amazing. Let's move on to portfolio tracking.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So this is a tool I use every day, and I've been using a portfolio tracker on my iPhone for the last 6-7 years, but it has very limiting features. I can pretty much only just see what my overall portfolio is. And so we wanted to take ideas from tools we use every day, bring it here and make it 10 times better. So what we have here is you can import any of your holdings, whether they're from UpTrade, personal custody, or on other exchanges. Have it all in one place with live data, tracking the P&L, and then having a live view with sector breakdowns. So what's your weighting per sector? What's your weighting per token as well? And what we've added here is you can also set portfolio and specific asset targets. So a lot of times I think people have ideas or valuations they want certain tokens to get to just up in their head. But if you don't have that written down on paper or somewhere to visualize, it's quite hard to actually take action on that. So on here, we have 2 different charts here representing how far away your actual target is. And so you can track that in live time for the asset and for the overall portfolio as well.
Yeah, and I think that kind of breaks down exactly what you need to see, because people forget how strong and important diversification is, and people forget where they're positioned in the market. I know personally I've got about 20 different wallets. I don't even know where half my assets are. So how am I meant to know where my actual allocations lie? Like what percentages of what, this and that. This is a very easy way. You just add your transaction when you make it, and it all is calculated for you guys. We've got a deep dive analysis on each token as well, the news, the catalysts that are coming up, the AI take as well on these certain assets. So you guys have the ability to utilize this, which I think is extremely valuable. Pro members also get a quarterly health check. You guys can input your portfolio, and this is why I think it's so good from a high touch level. You guys can import your portfolio. Ben and I personally will review your portfolio from a fundamental view. So looking at ways that it has underperformed in certain sectors against different averages, basically giving you a high touch view on actually where you are positioned in the market. So we've had a lot of users really happy to utilize that. But again, if you don't want that, you've got the analysis from our AI agent we've built that actually also analyzes your portfolio from key risks to key diversification, all the important things that you probably overlook on a daily basis. So for example, our Aquila AI, we'll probably touch on this a little bit further down in this video, but this is powering its actual analysis on our portfolios. So we've actually built it so its thesis is driven by what we believe in. So we are able to train it in a way that is very smart from a crypto analytical point of view. It feeds into all the different APIs that things like ChatGPT and other language learning models just can't do. So this is a unique tool. It is something that our clients really enjoy. It can even analyze charts for you if you want to upload charts, which is a really cool feature. But yeah, this shows you your diversification, different asset mixes, your risk profile dependent on your correlation with different assets, and then also your performance. So this is, in my opinion, a very, very strong tool. Your upcoming catalysts that you have in your portfolio, how it's going against the Bitcoin benchmark. This is stuff you just need to know, but it obviously automates it for you on a daily basis. So yeah, one tool that is free again, just to import your portfolio. I don't see why no one would want that. It is an amazing tool to utilize.
It is, and I can imagine spending so much time if you wanted to try work out the metrics yourself on your own portfolio. You could spend in hours just to get a result that is live for that minute, and then you have to work it all out again in the next day. This spits it out just within a few seconds. Okay, now we're going to show off the Alpha portfolio today.
Yeah, I think we can give it a little bit of a sneak peek. This is a pro member feature, but basically a part of our research, we actually run our own fund personally, an internal fund. So we are actually creating a fund where we are showcasing how sophisticated investors, especially from an institutional standpoint, invest in the market. So this has been a really, really strong series for us. We started with $250,000 literally last month. We've allocated about 30% into the market. We're already up 4% in that month, just showcasing every single move we make. We even give you guys the thesis behind it, the reasonings why we're buying into certain tokens. We don't want to give too much away because this is a feature for our pro members to see, but basically you guys get live straight away information on every single trade we make from our fund. And this is again from an institutional angle where we have a lot of information that you guys probably don't have on the market. So we're utilizing it in a way that is very, very efficient. So this is another very, very strong feature for the pro members. And I think that feeds into probably our last feature we want to quickly touch on, Ben, which is our Aquila AI.
Yep, I'd love to. This took a few developers, it took our minds, and it took about 6 months to get the final product. And this is what was on the portfolio tracker feature before. But we pretty much, it's called Aquila AI. It's your own personal research assistant that's in your back pocket. And you get institutional grade answers. It's crypto guardrailed only, and it plugs into live blockchain data. If you go to ChatGPT and you ask a question about on-chain data, you're going to get an answer that's about 24 or 48 hours delayed. With us, it's live and you get the answer straight away. Kane, do you want to give a simple demonstration of what you can ask it?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. So, for example, I may as well just get an old chat up for you guys. So, for example, if you wanted to ask it to analyze your portfolio, it can definitely do so. So, for example, I was just asking it to show me a holding structure of a sophisticated, high-performing portfolio, and it basically will break things down based on their performance. It gives you a very high-touch examples of how different funds actually allocate. For example, it is showing the different allocations, how different funds will do so, and then it will give you the risk profiles. It'll explain the diversification metrics. It'll explain key benefits. Anything you really want it to do, it is there to help you. I'm trying to give you another really good example.
I know the brokers at UpTrade, since they're extremely busy, they can't watch all their videos every week. What they do is they just type a message, Aquila, can you please summarize the recent research from UpTrade in the past week?
Yep.
And it will spit out a very simplified version so you can get up to date straight away. Someone like Ken and I, who are like more high level, we use it to compare like different revenue per protocol, and it spits out charts for us to use in our analysis. So depending on your level, there's many different things you can take away from this.
Yeah, definitely. So for example, what are the key takeaways from recent research? It was basically showing you guys, this was back in February, but it will break it down for you in a very, very simple way. If you guys don't have time to watch our research and things like this is a way to summarize it all and still get all the important information you guys need. So this is another really cool way to just absorb information very fast and the important parts of the information. If you were to look at the DEX volumes, things like that, what is Uniswap's volume, or if you wanted to just rank him, it will do so. So based on different volume metrics, also the 24-hour change, revenue, all these metrics are extremely important in today's market, and you have the live information all plugged into Aquila. So yeah, so this is obviously a really cool tool for you guys to utilize if you do have a pro feature. So I think that kind of feeds into the actual tiers we do have, and I'll quickly walk you guys through them. The first tier we have is just our free tier. This is a little bit dated what you actually have, but basically you do get 2 tokens to unlock research every month. So our actual videos we do, you get to unlock 2 pieces of that per month for free. You also get the daily news, you get your portfolio tracker, and you get the community channel. So that is a lot of value just from signing up with a link. If you guys wanted to get a little bit more information, you get the trader tier, which is our middle tier. This is something that you actually also can unlock by doing $25,000 in volume at UpTrade, the actual brokerage. So if you do $25,000 in volume at our brokerage, you will get the trader tier for free for 1 month. So definitely, if you guys are also in our brokerage and you guys are trading actively, look out for emails, because we are always distributing free memberships for the month if you guys are hitting those targets. But yeah, this one is basically similar to the free, except you get a lot more value in terms of the research reports. You get basically all the research. You also get UpTrade's token watch list, so you can see what Ben and I are holding what assets we're actually bullish on, which is really cool. You get live webinars that are exclusive to Trader Tier or Pro members, which is also very strong. And then you also have exclusive channels that you can utilize in our UpTrade Alpha tier. So this is also available for a free trial. All you guys need to do is when you go to pay, I'm already logged in, I can't really show you, but when you pay, it will say a 30-day free trial. You guys can utilize that at any point as well.
Amazing. And the final tier, obviously, you get everything we've just walked through. And majority of members actually make back the cost through trading fee discount. If you are a member and you trade at our brokerage, you get 15% off your trading fees. So that's only a couple $100,000 in volume, and you get a free subscription to the membership.
100%. So 15% trading discount at UpTrade our brokerage if you are to sign up for the annual membership. We're currently on a wait list. We do have a lot of interest in the pro memberships. Sorry. We actually just got an award recently at Paris Blockchain Week for the best research platform. So we just won that yesterday. So we are very high demand for this at the moment, and we do have limited spots. But if you are interested, please join the wait list. We will try to accommodate for everyone. But yeah, I think that does break down more or less everything for UpTrade Alpha. Brando, did you have any other questions?
Or if you finished doing the demo, then we'll just go back to not share screen. If you finished.
Yeah.
We're done.
All right, cool. Yeah, a few things. First off, because I mean, back in the day, when we say, been in crypto for 8 years, they're like dog years. Like 8 years in crypto is a lifetime. But so when we say back in the day, it's actually quite recent. You had to scale the internet and different YouTube channels and follow stuff, and then it was just really, really difficult thing to do. Where people nowadays, or even back then, are time poor. I don't have time to do that anymore. And that's why this alpha thing's cool, because I can just go there and you guys have done it all for us. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we're at that. Now, just really, really quickly, and then we'll go into the CDA, is if you guys don't have an account with UpTrade at the moment, explain what the difference between an exchange and a broker does.
You want to?
Sorry. Yep. Either.
Yeah. Do you? Sorry, Ben.
You take it away.
Cool. Awesome. So the difference between an exchange and a broker, I think there's a lot of a misconception that we are very similar, but there are big differences. So we are like a white glove service. We have brokers who you can contact 24/7. We're there to guide you on your journey, your crypto journey, when it comes to research, when it comes to insights, when it comes to just someone in your corner to talk to. So that's what we do at UpTrade. An exchange is just a place where you want to just make a quick buy and sell, no customer service usually. And yeah, that's what we pride ourselves on, being able to be transparent with you guys. Our fee might be a little bit higher, but you get a suite of benefits with it. And when it comes to, very busy times, I don't know if you've seen, but big exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, they have down periods where you can't withdraw money. You can't actually make trades, which is really scary for a lot of people. Whereas we are pretty boutique. We don't have all these customers. We don't want to serve a million different people. We do it so that you guys have the best experience. And that's what the main difference between a brokerage and a exchange really is.
Yeah, fantastic. So I'll just do a quick question. If you guys want to get hold of these guys or whatever, there's a really, really good website called orangebrickroad.com.au over here. And if you go to services, you will see a broker. And then you will see UpTrade. and once it loads, UpTrade is here. So if you want to start and then we've done a little video with old Jeffrey there. Okay, so you can start an account there. But once they've started the account, so how do you now, once you've got an account, start with the alpha? Can you do that through your account?
Yeah, so they are separate platforms. You can be an alpha member and not be a brokerage client, but majority of brokerage clients naturally progress towards being an alpha member. So you don't have to be either or. To be an alpha member, if you don't want the brokerage, it's UpTradeAlpha.com, and you can create a free account. Anybody can do it. Or if you want to go through the brokerage first, you can go through the website. You'll get a free discovery call, and we'll set you up with the right broker for the right needs, and they'll talk to you about what you're after. If you're after research, they'll guide you the right way towards UpTrade Alpha.
Yeah, cool.
Definitely. And we just a quick one. We also do have a discount code, which is sorry, we do have a promotion code for Brandon and OBR. So if you do put OBR in the promotion code when you sign up, you will get a free month trial of the UpTrade Alpha platform. So definitely, if you guys are interested, put that in as well.
Yeah, cool. And I'll have the links in the description as well, and it's going out in the newsletter. Because, yeah, like I said, this will be going out in my newsletter as well. Obviously, my newsletter isn't as detailed as these guys, because I lean on these guys quite regularly. Mine's more of a summary on what's happening with the market, what's happening with legals, or what superannuation's doing, or whatever I feel like looking at for the day, basically. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, thanks very much for joining us, guys. I want to just sort of have one last little thing. We've put millions through you guys, through Orange Brick Road. We help people out with portfolios, wallet setups, and just everything in crypto. You can see all that on the Orange Brick Road website. And we've also had a lot of trouble with exchanges and other services with the on and off board, which can be quite tricky. But with you guys, we haven't had a problem. It's because you guys are set up for that, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, we are. Yeah, personally, it was about 6 months ago, I went to put $10,000, it was about $20,000 into CoinSpot, and my money got frozen.
Yep.
And I spent about 3 hours on the call trying to figure it out. And if my face and name wasn't on the UpTrade website, I wouldn't have gotten my money. They actually did a background check and saw that I work at a brokerage, and I finally let my money go. But with UpTrade, we are built around private banking rails. So when you make your deposit or withdrawal from UpTrade to your bank account, they don't actually see it's coming from a crypto platform. And so it's seamless, and we have people putting up to $100 million through it with no drama.
Yeah. Because, yeah, that was a catching thing. Personally, I've had clients that their bank accounts have been frozen, their assets have been frozen. One example was an exchange then wanted them to prove where they got the money from in order to buy the crypto. And he's like, oh, well, I have a certain business, I don't want to name it, that's across Australia, and I do contracts. And so I might have got 10 grand from that contract, 30 from that contract, whatever. And it took him 3.5 months to get the paperwork together in order for them to release. So yeah, you can have problems. So that's why I like working with you guys, especially on the high volume things. Cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, if we've got nothing else, we'll leave it at that. And like I said, all links will be in the description. Tune into these guys because they know what they're talking about. And yeah, if you have any problems with crypto, or you want to get started, or you want your portfolio, whatever, contact Orange Brick Road. We do a whole bunch of stuff. Yep. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Hi, I'm Kayleen. I'm from MWA Crypto Tax Specialists. Today we're going to be talking about crypto and tax, and also how to protect your assets. A disclaimer, as always, this is for general purposes only. It is not tax or even financial advice. What is a taxable event in crypto? If you sell, swap, gift, bridge, or even if you have lost crypto or scammed, then all of those events are a capital gains event. You can also have what is called ordinary income, which is equivalent to, I guess, bank interest in crypto. So if you are staking or doing any sort of activities where you are receiving rewards, then that is called ordinary income. And as I said, it's reported just like bank interest, and it is not subject to any sort of capital gains discount. Structures can help minimize tax. So if you were to own assets in a company tax rate is capped at either 25 or 30%. It is a flat tax rate, and you will be paying tax on every dollar. A company does pay its own tax. There is no capital gains discount in a company, and the profits belong to the company. So that means that in order to take those profits out of the company, you will either need to take them as a franked dividend, or you will become an employee of your company. Another structure is a family trust. Now, trusts do not pay their own tax. The profits are distributed every year to the family members, and the family members will pay tax at their own individual rates. The CGT discount is available when those profits are distributed to individuals. Another structure which is quite popular in crypto is to have a self-managed superannuation fund. A self-managed fund does pay tax at 15%. It does have an effective capital gains tax rate of 10%. At retirement, funds are tax-free to the members. So from the age of 50, you can actually access your super fund and take a pension. You do need to ensure that all of your wallets and exchanges and even trading accounts all need to be in the name of your SMSF. They cannot be in your individual name. A super fund is audited every year, so please ensure that your auditor is crypto friendly. And if you have an existing SMSF and it has been around for a few years, before you purchase any digital assets, please check your deed and ensure that it is eligible to purchase digital assets. From the 1st of July 2027, the changes in this year's budget will come into effect, some of them anyway. So the 50% discount on the sale of assets will be replaced by the indexation method. Now, originally we thought that the government would only make changes on property, but that is not the case. These changes will affect all assets. So that includes property, crypto, precious metals, and shares. There will be a 30% minimum tax rate applied to all capital gains. So you will definitely need to ensure that you are keeping really good records and that you get a good tax report at year end. At the moment, with our current rules, if you make a super contribution, you can use that contribution to offset any tax payable that you may have. But it looks like going forward from the 1st of July 2027, that will no longer be the case. So if you make a large gain on the sale of any assets, you will not be able to make a super contribution and use that to reduce the tax payable. The other changes that were announced was that trusts will now be paying their own tax. So from the 1st of July 2028, trusts will pay tax at 30% before any distribution is made to the beneficiaries. Those tax credits will be non-refundable to the beneficiaries, so they will be able to claim it as a tax credit in their tax return, but where they are on a lower tax rate, they will not be able to receive a refund on those tax credits. And bucket companies will no longer play a part in any structures, because the trust is going to be paying 30% tax, and those tax credits will not be passed to the bucket company. So the bucket company will also be paying tax at 30%. So essentially that is a 51% tax rate. So I do not see how bucket companies have a place in the future. Now, although we know that some of this has been legislated, actual detailed guidance has not been released by the ATO. So this is just a general overview of how things have been released at the moment, but there could be some tweaks along the way. And I guess going forward, we will be advised eventually. Let's talk about how we can protect your assets, not only your crypto assets, but any assets that you may have. Structures is the way to protect your assets. Now here at MWA Crypto Tax, our structures are a little different from most others that are out there on the market. Our structures come with inbuilt succession planning. So what that means is that you actually name the people that will take control if something was to happen to you. So whether you are facing bankruptcy, you are incapacitated, or you pass away, there will always be someone that will take control. And we encourage you to list at least 2 people. So that could be your spouse, that could be your children, that could be a sibling, but put in place at least 2 successors. Trusts that we create do not have an end date. So in all states around Australia, trusts do have an end date where you are forced to sell all of the assets, pay tax, and start again. And depending on the state that you are in, your trust could have either 80 years or 100 years lifespan. But we set up our trust in South Australia, and South Australia does not have an end date for trusts. They are perpetual. So this means that you can create generational wealth. Our trusts are also bloodline trusts. And with the succession planning, it means that all of your assets are kept outside of your estate. So when you pass away, these assets will not become part of your will. They will not be subject to any challenges that someone may want to do on your will, because they are never paused. There is always someone that is in control. So ownership, control, I should say, is always there. So they will not be subject to any future inheritance tax that we believe will be coming. I know there was a lot there. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to chat about any of those aspects in this presentation. Thank you.
Let's dive in. So, what is Blocksquare? Well, they're a project that has been focusing on building both the infrastructure and legal frameworks required for the tokenization of real estate since its ICO back in 2018. This ICO was intended to be the first of many, and only 5 million of Blocksquare's native token, BST, were minted. As we all know, market conditions deteriorated rapidly in 2018, and Blocksquare had to change their plans. And like many other projects that ICO'd at this time though, they survived crypto winter and have continued to work on their product and vision. This involves leveraging the power of blockchain and decentralization to disrupt the real estate industry by offering an end-to-end solution for real estate tokenization. This includes a tokenization protocol that allows any property to be digitized either fully or partially, a white label platform to allow businesses to launch their own full-service real estate investment platform, and with the OceanPoint DAO, they are looking to increase liquidity in the market and create the world's first decentralized real estate fund, but more on that later. First, let's take a look at how the tokenization protocol works and why tokenization of real estate is important. Tokenization adds a new slice to the traditional capital stack, one that has the potential to change how we invest in real estate. Traditionally, real estate is a very liquid market with property transactions happening relatively infrequently. In fact, despite it being the biggest asset class in the world, it is also one of the most illiquid investments you can make. Typically, investors only engage in the top markets, leaving hundreds of smaller markets suffering from a lack of liquidity. Through tokenization, assets in these smaller markets can be exposed to the global digital economy and add much needed liquidity by attracting a large number of potential investors. The capital stack for a given property is usually made up of two major parts, equity and debt. Tokenizing the debt or equity portions presents a number of challenges. Debt is already serviced very well by traditional means, and equity ownership is very much an off-chain process in most jurisdictions around the world, meaning that there is very little opportunity for on-chain settlement. Because of this, Blocksquare chose to focus in on one aspect of commercial real estate that can be tokenized, the economic rights. Most commercial real estate is easy to forecast revenues such as leases, rents, and so on, with these revenues having a big impact on the valuation of commercial property, as investors are usually targeting a given return on their investment. So the Blocksquare tokenization protocol tokenizes the rights to this revenue in the form of a royalty. As part of the tokenization contract, the issuer is agreeing to pay a percentage of revenue to prop token holders. Note the use of the word revenue here. This is an important distinction and means that investors get a share of revenues and not profits. This is a much more reliable source of income and much less open to manipulation by the property owner. These agreements are all codified in an ERC20 prop token smart contract and a public corporate resolution signed by shareholders of the issuing legal entity and a copy uploaded and stored in IPFS to give it a fixed online address. This location is defined as a unique hash, with this hash being recorded in the prop token smart contract. Let's look at an example to show how this works. Let's take a property valued at $10 million with a 20% owner equity stake, a 20% equity stake owned by a real estate investment trust, and a bank loan financing the remaining 60%. If fully occupied, the property is forecast to bring in $2 million in revenue. The owners have projected that they will need 40% of this revenue for direct and indirect costs. In order to decrease their exposure and release funds for other investments, the owners and investment trust have decided to tokenize 20% of the property. Under the Blocksquare protocol, the entire property is split into 100,000 tokens, so to tokenize 20% of the property, 20,000 tokens are minted from the prop token contract. Revenues from the property will then be distributed to prop token holders following the formula of property revenue times share of revenue times the percentage of property tokenized. Replacing that with a projected revenue of $2 million, the revenue share of 60%, and the 20% tokenization value, we get an annual revenue of $240,000 that will be distributed to prop token holders. In addition to the underlying tokenization protocol, Blocksquare have created a white label platform that allows real estate businesses or startups to launch a real estate investment portal in a matter of weeks with no coding. This allows businesses to start offering tokenization services to their clients incredibly quickly. The platform handles investor onboarding, including automated KYC, the property tokenization process, revenue distribution to token holders, the buying and selling of prop tokens in the form of a secondary market, as well as the important aspect of token buyback. This is usually required when the property is being sold to a third-party buyer, and the platform gives owners the ability to market and pre-negotiate their offer to holders and manage the entire buyback process. The other aspect of the Blocksquare platform is OceanPoint, a set of smart contracts on Ethereum that form an open-ended DAO. V0.1 of OceanPoint was launched at the end of February 2022 and gave BST token holders the ability to stake their BST in the new governance pool in return for the DAO governance token, SBST. Staking in the governance pool launched with a heavily incentivized single-sided staking program for BST, where 1 million BST tokens a month were distributed among stakers for the first 3 months. This led to some eye-watering returns for early investors in the region of about 320% APY. This heavily incentivized staking period is now ended and the monthly distribution has dropped to 500,000 BST tokens, with APYs dropping to a measly 120% APY. Still an amazing return and a great opportunity for those who get in early to build a big bag. This won't last forever though. As things stand today, the full monthly distribution is still being distributed to BST stakers in the governance pool. However, V0.2 of OceanPoint, whose release is due imminently, will see the launch of OceanPoint's first asset pool, which will allow property owners to stake their prop tokens. After launch, the monthly distribution will be split between the governance and asset pools to incentivize early property stakers with additional BST rewards. So why would a property owner want to stake their property? There is a 6-month lockup period for those staking their prop tokens. During that time, they will receive a share of the BST rewards distributed to asset pool stakers, but they will retain full ownership of their tokens and the economic rights that they represent. After the lockup period ends, stakers are faced with a decision to withdraw their prop tokens or to sell them to the DAO. This is where things get exciting and where the true potential of OceanPoint starts to be shown. If a property owner decides to sell their prop tokens to the DAO and the purchase is approved by the DAO's community, the property owner will be paid the value of the prop tokens in point, a new stablecoin pegged to the US dollar and collateralized by the real estate assets held by the DAO. Once sold, all revenues from the prop tokens will be used to buy BST on the open market and the rewards distributed to DAO participants. This should have a twofold effect. 1, it should drive up the market price of BST, and 2, it should increase the amount of rewards paid to DAO participants. At this stage, OceanPoint effectively becomes the world's first truly decentralized real estate fund, one that has been designed from the ground up to hold an unlimited amount of real estate assets and be open to anyone to invest in, no matter how much they have to invest or where in the world they are. This is when real estate truly meets DeFi, except it's unlike any other real estate fund out there. This is partly down to the fact that it doesn't own equity in any property. Instead, it owns tokenized economic rights that property owners commit to pay to the DAO. It also doesn't have any shareholders. Instead, it is governed by the community, and it also doesn't pool funds. It has Point, its new stablecoin. In this way, OceanPoint acts more like a real estate-backed central bank from the fund. OceanPoint mints Point when a prop token is bought by the DAO and burns it when a prop token is sold. In this way, Point and the TVL of OceanPoint are intrinsically tied and ensures that Point is collateralized appropriately. Now let's have a look at the roadmap for OceanPoint. As previously mentioned, V0.1 of OceanPoint launched in February of 2022. This brought with it BST staking, with all rewards being distributed to the governance pool. At the time of recording, V0.2 is in the final stages of its audit and is expected to launch any day now. This brings OceanPoint's first asset pool and will trigger a change in the reward distribution, with monthly rewards being split between the governance and asset pools. With V0.3, OceanPoint are adding BST liquidity pools, most likely BST ETH on Uniswap. This will see half of the monthly rewards being distributed to the LPs, with the other half being split between the governance and asset pools. And finally we have V0.4, which will introduce Point liquidity pools. This will see another change in reward distribution, however the figures shown on screen are not finalised and, in fact, will be set by the community through a voting mechanism. This will mark the start of the DAO becoming more autonomous and self-governing. One aspect of BST that we haven't covered yet is its tokenomics. I'm sure some watchers will have raised their eyebrows at the sizable monthly reward distributions and be wondering where this all comes from and how sustainable it is, so let's dig a little deeper. The max supply of BST is 100 million tokens. 5 million of these tokens were sold during the 2018 ICO to investors, of which I was one, with a further 5.142 million tokens having been minted since V0.1 launch in February, through a combination of rewards and liquidity provision on Ethereum. That leaves us with a current circulating supply of 10.142 million BST, giving a market cap of 637,000 at the time of recording. Yes, you heard me correct, 637,000. In my opinion, and of course this is just my opinion, Blocksquare is one of those hidden gems that has the potential to explode in price as they deliver on their roadmap and start to increase the TVL of real estate on the protocol. At 100x we're only looking at $63.7 million valuation, and I think we can go a lot higher than that if things develop in the way they're developing. So enough about the current situation, let's look at how the total supply is going to be allocated. As mentioned earlier, 5 million tokens or 5% of total supply were sold as part of the initial ICO, with a further 5% being allocated for liquidity provision. Other investors hold 15% of tokens. The team hold 22% of tokens, with these vesting 2 years after the launch of OceanPoint on the 22nd of February 2024. Mentors hold 3% of tokens, with their tokens vesting 12 months after the launch of OceanPoint on 22nd of February 2023. 10% of tokens will be set aside for marketing activities, at some that to date has hardly been touched and is being held in reserve for later this year after OceanPoint is more fully developed. And the final 40% of the total supply will be used for rewards provision to the various pools. For the first 3 months, this equates to 1 million tokens a month, as previously discussed, leaving a further 74 months or 6 years of incentivized reward distribution before OceanPoint transitions to a self-rewarding model from onboarded asset revenues. Now that we've covered the underlying tokenomics, what utility does BST have? There are 3 main uses for BST. First and foremost, BST acts as the governance token for OceanPoint. In order to be involved in DAO votes and help shape the future of OceanPoint, you need to stake BST in the governance pool. When you do this, you're effectively buying SBST, which entitles you to receive a share of the revenues from the DAO, be that in the form of protocol reward distributions or a share of DAO-owned real estate asset revenues. This leads on nicely to our second use case. When the DAO receives its revenue share from owned assets, these are paid in DAI. This DAI is then used to buy BST on the open market before the purchased BST is distributed amongst SBST owners in the governance pool. And the third utility is to secure discounts on Blocksquare's platform offering. By purchasing and staking BST, those individuals or organisations looking to run their own marketplace can secure some hefty discounts ranging from 10% for 10,000 SBST all the way up to 100% discount for 100,000 SBST. This also gives customers a corresponding partner status, giving a range of benefits such as marketing support, increased OceanPoint thresholds and so on, not to mention a share of DAO rewards too. One other area that we should look at is the total value of real estate assets under tokenization. This gives some indication to the potential for TVL after the launch of v0.2 of OceanPoint in the coming months. So at the time of recording, there was a total of $33 million in total assets under tokenization. These assets are returning a projected average yield of 5.3%, and this total is made up of 38 properties in 9 countries around the world. All of these properties are viewable in the OceanPoint marketplace, which you can keep an eye on for any new properties being added. Properties are being tokenized at a steady pace, with a few new ones being added on average every week. The growth in tokenized properties is really quite impressive and shows the potential for OceanPoint, Blocksquare and the future valuation of BST. So where do you learn more about Blocksquare? Well, firstly there are the obvious ones. The Blocksquare site at blocksquare.io, their Medium at medium.com/Blocksquare, the OceanPoint site at oceanpoint.fi, and more specifically the OceanPoint docs at docs.oceanpoint.fi. These in particular are a great source of more detail on the project. The Blocksquare team also run weekly AMAs on YouTube, which are worth checking out, and their Discord server is nicely organised and a friendly place to find out more about the project.
So I'm Graham Speak, the CEO founder of BankVault. We're a cybersecurity innovation team developing intelligent new approaches to web security. One of our products is Vanishing Point, which I'm going to show you now. Vanishing Point makes you invisible to hackers and surveillance, even on compromised devices and unsecured networks. We have a solid team, 35 discrete innovations, 14 patents granted worldwide. One of our shareholders is Turing laureate Whitfield Diffie, the father of internet encryption. His algorithm is estimated to transact $4 to $6 trillion a day. So let me ask you a rhetorical question. If you've got a transaction to do that your career depends on, or your family's future, how can you tell if your computer is compromised? You can't. In April this year, headline news across Australia, ABC News, Channel 7 and others, was that 30,000 banking passwords have been found for sale on the dark web. These weren't stolen from the bank, these were stolen directly off people's own devices. In the same week, Forbes announced 19 billion passwords have been harvested in the last 12 months. Now it's easy to skim past statistics, but these should make every professional wake up and pay attention. Industry commentators were saying, look, you must keep your computer patched, use a VPN, don't install games, use a password manager, but all of these solutions are utterly useless. in the face of InfoStealer, which is legitimate code, it's allowed to be there, and it's just doing the wrong thing. So the goal of the hacker is to capture your credentials to online services. With that, he can steal your money directly. You can redirect a financial transaction or hold you to ransom. There's a variety of things to do, and it's very simple to hack you. When you enter in a password, you see asterisks on the screen, but this is simply a mask for the person sitting next to you. Any software in your PC or browser sees this as clear text. So what this means, if you're using a password manager, when it loads your encrypted password into a web form, it is no longer encrypted. It is now clear text, intercepted instantly. There's nothing that password managers can do to stop this. This is a fundamental design flaw with the way browsers work. And this means that password managers are actually exposing your credentials to malware. Password managers help you remember lots of different passwords, but they're not secure, and they cannot be. The industry's solution to the security threat has been 2FA. 2FA is a really solid idea. It's a pain in the neck for everybody. It's even expensive to deploy and support, and it's not infallible. It is actually frequently defeated, literally with a bit of social engineering. If I've hacked your computer, hacked your browser, my man in the browser has been there on average for 10 months, according to Semantic, before I sting you. In the last 10 months, I've got everything. I know your mother's first name, your dog's maiden name, and I'm now one step away from tricking you to revealing your second factor to, for example, your bank account. So it might be an SMS message, it might be Google Authenticate. You enter that in on your browser, but I'm in your browser as well. That one-time passcode is issued once, but it can be used multiple times in, say, the next 35 seconds. And I'll probably use it before you do because I've automated the process. So VPNs are only theatre. VPNs don't do anything. It's a long pipe where the other end is in a different country, and everything comes through this unfiltered. Your email with the keylogger attached. The JavaScript, you click on the button and JavaScript is downloaded through the VPN. Now it's executing locally on your local machine. So VPNs don't do anything for security. And I'll just add that every device now, by default, has artificial intelligence agents installed. And these are there, it's called client-side scanning. It's designed to look for unusual behavior, malware, but you have absolutely no control over what is being captured, where that is being sent, and how it's being processed or stored later. You are blindly trusting the device that you're at working with. If you have a transaction to complete that absolutely your career depends on, don't use your own laptop. Go down the street, buy a brand new one, use it once and throw it away. And do that for every transaction. Now that's impractical, but what we're doing here is actually using the cloud to make this efficient and inexpensive. So whilst the VPN does nothing, we categorize this as a fortified VPN because nothing comes through or gets out of this. A fortified VPN requires no software. There's nothing to download, install, or configure. You click a button, we build a virtual machine on the other side of the internet. This machine is invisible from the internet. We're using the standard internet technology called IP masquerading. That machine can see the internet, but the internet cannot see it. The desktop image of that is transmitted into your screen. This is a stream of pixels. Pixels do not carry code, and it is through an encrypted connection. So nothing else outside the point-to-point connection can intercept and see what you're actually doing here. When you go to enter in your credentials, say a password, we're going to create the illusion of a keyboard on your mobile phone. It's a separate device. You scan a QR code. We're transmitting a keyboard, but this is only a photograph. There is no keyboard. We're setting up encoded cells on the screen. If you touch the cell above the photograph of the letter A, instead of generating the letter A, which is one character, we're going to generate perhaps 48 characters. And the only place in the universe that can decipher this is that virtual machine, which is invisible from the internet, and it's the only place in the universe that can merge what you're typing with that keyboard and what you type with your physical keyboard. When you finish, that environment evaporates without trace. There's no breadcrumbs, there's no cookies, you're secure, you're anonymous and traceable from any trackers and hackers. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of this live right now. Here's the Vanishing Point website. I'm going to go and click up on Vanishing Point Pro. Now I've got a choice here. I'm going to actually open the camera on my phone I'm going to scan this QR code. There's nothing installed on my phone, but it's recognized me instantly. If I tap that, it logs in. I'm building a virtual machine on the other side of the internet. That machine took 1 second to build. It's a pristine new machine without any history. The desktop is now transmitted from the other side of the internet down into my browser. So my browser is acting as a dumb television screen here. You cannot hack a television station from your television. It's impossible. This is an encrypted connection with a stream of pixels that carry no code. Nothing in my device can inject anything in the machine, and nothing in the remote machine can actually inject into my local device. So I'm here now, I've got a choice of applications. I'm going to launch, say, the Chrome browser. I'm going to go and do some banking. I'll go to netbank.com.au. I'm going to enter my bank account number, which is 123456. I'm going to enter my password, but rather than use my local computer, if there's a keylogger on here, I'm hosed. I don't want to do that. But what I can do is if I drag this aside, you'll see on my screen here, I have a QR code. Again, I'm going to open the camera on my mobile phone. It scans that QR code, it launches my browser. I'll just hold up here to the camera. You can see it's created the illusion of a keyboard on my phone. I'll bring back the screen and I'll enter my password. And whatever you see on screen here is only asterisks. Now, if you were a hacker on my computer, you are literally only seeing an image of an asterisk transmitted from a remote virtual machine. That is the only place in the universe that can merge what I typed with my physical machine. This machine is pristine new, there is no history yet, it can't have been hacked, and it's on the other side of the internet. Now, if I press login, I probably got the password wrong, it'll fail. Yes, it did. But I could use this also, for example, to log into my cryptocurrency exchange and transact. But let me go further. I'm going to actually access my crypto wallet. Now, the gold standard for crypto is to have an offline hardware wallet that never interacts with the internet. But here I've got a virtual machine that is also not interacting directly with the internet. Well, the internet can't see it. Now, I'll never talk anyone out of hardware wallets, but I travel a lot, so a device can be lost and hardware will eventually fail. When it does, I'll need my 12-word seed phrase to recover on another device. But instead, why not recover my wallet inside a virtual machine that's invisible from the internet? An invisible crypto wallet. Hardware wallet security with online wallet convenience. If I go up in the browser here, I've got in Brave, I've got a wallet. This is what we call a hierarchical deterministic wallet. I can basically type in my 12-word phrase and reconstruct my wallet. Just tick the boxes to say I understand the risks. This is the Brave browser. There we go. Now I can enter in my 12-word recovery phrase now. And again, nothing on my local device or my phone is ever going to see what I'm typing here. I can reconstruct this wallet. I can transfer, for example, to my exchange. I can then log into my exchange within this environment as well. And I can do my banking at the same time. And when I log off, that machine evaporates without trace. There's no breadcrumbs, there's no cookies. If I log in again, it'll build a completely new machine at a fresh address. And again, whatever I'm doing, I'm secure, anonymous, and untraceable from any hackers on my device or network. I can also open up an email attachment with a keylogger attached in this, or a virus, some ransomware, and it can't go anywhere because all I've got to do is shut it down and it's gone. I can look at a virus in the face and it can't touch me. So if you are doing transactions that must be secure and you need to take control of your own security, you can do this instantly with Vanishing Point. There's no software to install. There's nothing to configure. It's literally an online service. You won't use this for everything. You'll only use this for really important transactions that you have to make sure are secure. Or as I said, if you're looking to open up an email attachment or a LinkedIn attachment, which looks potentially questionable. And so I'll just add that we've had this product range in the market now for over 10 years. Our first customers were fiduciaries responsible for trust accounts, extremely large amounts of money. We had learned that 2FA can be defeated, and it was very publicly reported. What we hypothesized was if you could never intercept the password, that would fundamentally change the dynamics of cybersecurity. And we were right. If you'd like to test drive this yourself, just contact us. Our team are happy to do this with you. You can experience this on your own machine within seconds. And I'll just end with this statement that in a world that is drowning now in infostealer malware and artificial intelligence surveillance, with no solution, Vanishing Point is your escape hatch. I look forward to speaking to you.
Crypto portfolio setup, trading, AI solutions, loans, real-world assets, license, chastity, bookkeeping, tax, planning SMF and trust. Secure your future with orangebrickroad.com.
Book a free 15-minute call. Visit orangebrickroad.com.au for everything in crypto.